All right, good to go. Cool. Now we need down here. Okay, here we are. Doing the general energy reading for November 15th to the 30th. Doing an oracle read on this in-depth energy for, general reading for most people. There isn't a specific, there's not a specific reasoning behind this. This is all done with oracle cards and oracle energy, which is totally intuitive. For those of you that know about readings, intuitive is when you actually know um, and can channel information to maybe assist another person or to help them move in a more positive or, more useful kind of image, right? Um, One sec here. I just gotta fix my laptop here. I'm just waiting for my laptop to boot up so then I can keep an eye on, how things are progressing through the video. So we've got a 10 card spread that we have going on here. Oracle cards. I'm new to these oracle cards, so I'm usually do it intuitively first. Then I will get into the actual meaning of the card, and usually I'm pretty accurate as far as calling what the card means, as per the regular meaning. Okay, come on up, baby. Little baby's here. Okay, little baby's here now. He wanted to be a star on the Price is Right. Baby wants to be a star, doesn't he? He wanted to be a star. Yeah, he wanted to be a star too. Oh, there he goes. He'll be back. Trust me, he'll be back to come sit on my lap later. But so yeah, we're gonna just do an oracle reading here. The overall um, is the shield. A lot of people are blocking their energy fields, whether it be to conserve on their energy or to block somebody else's energy that may be too much for them to handle or too much um, for a person to shield, like a high energy person or a Debbie Downer type person is getting to be quite a noticeable energy that keeps popping up in a lot of people's readings. A lot of situations seems like a lot of people are trying to either unblock feelings for someone, or they're trying to unblock an emotional state that they've been dealing with. That's why I do my readings the way I do, to offer insight and as well as maybe a different path or opportunities that may come forth. But also just to learn to heal that past trauma and be able to reflect it yourself and do it healthily, right? Do it with, a bit of knowledge and not beating yourself down so much, because it's not really, I would say it's not really a feeling or a situation that it's a situation that's created that for you. Um, so yeah, so learning to shield, from other people that may want to cause you harm or cause you grief, I guess you would say, attack your character, whatever it is. Um, Oops, what is that? Okay, so I just have to refer back to um, the return. So a lot of things are going to be returning to normal, returning to balance. The return is basically reminds you that you can't change what has happened, but you can move into a proper direction that maybe will be better of assistance for you in the long run. Um, where is this is the one I wanted. Sorry guys. I just have to remember the positions again. Um, so the second one is cause. Okay, time to pull out the spectacles. So the first one is the subject of the matter. So it's the shielding. The people are blocking. That people are, getting defensive. That they want to block the energy that may be coming towards them, in a constructive way. You don't really want to be spending too much time on it. Um, Cause of the matter is the return. So that it's the time frame and things coming back that you really didn't want to have to deal with, but it's unfortunately a path that you have to deal with and take it one step at a time, right? So you'll find that a lot of things are returning, especially with this retrograde that we have, that makes everything want to come back. People are realizing situations were uh, 9 times better before this return came, causing more. more unrest, I guess you would say. I'll get the meaning of the return is basically simply as it said, the returning of items or the returning of exes, returning of people that you didn't really want to be socialized with. So I'll read you the actual meaning of the shield as well that we've had. Protection, a defensive measure to maintain harmony. Even if the crisis is approaching, you have many people firmly defending you. You can obtain greater power in exchange for love, harmony in particular. So that's another positive note. Like I had said, you're going to be shielding it from and learning to live from a different aspect, different situation as far as that is concerned. Now let me find. I'm new to these, so you'll have to bear with me. Go on the return. I think that's at the beginning here. I had to print them out in a bigger format, but that didn't even help as far as end of the storm. I think you're further back here. The dash and the return should be close to each other. Here it is. Yeah, these cards are really actually quite amazing little cards. I actually do really love them. As soon as I get used to them a little bit more than, the return. Sorry. So the return is, like I said, it's a returning of situations or things that you hadn't quite put to sleep, in the past or present, that you're returning back, even to take a memento back from those memories that you've had, so you can, seal them off, let them go, and move forward in a more positive direction without the extra baggage, right? So the return means the revival of a loser. Ouch. Oh, sorry, guys. My cat just clawed the hell out of my leg trying to climb it. Sorry. That scared the shit out of me and it hurt. Okay, so the return is rival of a loser. Never give up. You will settle your regrets and problems that you have ran away from. The person who has been labeled as sly will slowly recover. Your natural fortune improves with a good decision. The warning, though, you cannot turn back time, you can still change the present and the future with your own power. So it's exactly like I said, just to confirm the information for you with dealing with these new cards. I really actually do love them. They're more insightful. They give you a lot more meaning. So your past problems are the result of the freeze. The freeze in reverse. So pretty much kind of speaks for itself, right? Past problems regarding the matter. You just kind of, put them away, frozen in time type thing. My computer's acting funny. That you don't have to be cold-hearted. You don't have to be cold with your vocal. People take it for what it is. The freeze is numbing to the feelings of certain aspects of your life that may have been causing you the return, and you're just kind of like frozen, just kind of like, I can't, this is not an avenue that I want to explore, or this is, not a situation that I want to have part of my life. So you basically go into like freeze, like cold hearted. You don't want to take advantage of it. You're feeling very distant and disconnected from whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. As far as a return, a lot of people become cold against, an ex, but maybe the situation is allowing it to actually become a friendship, and possibilities of just having an amends made between the two parties is what I'm thinking. So it could be a general situation. You freeze because you're not sure how to handle it, or you don't have the information to handle it without, kind of getting kind of twisted about it. But don't spend too much time on it, because it is a situation that's kind of like frozen in time. You only have to reveal it, if you feel like looking at it, to unfreeze a situation, to unthaw like what the past has been almost like written, right? You don't have to keep writing your freeze moment, your cold or situational part into being the freeze, right? Excuse me, my throat is like really dry, guys. So we're going to look at the freeze. Okay, so it should be, I think it's closer to the back of my little booklet here. The flower. No, I don't see it. The shield. The okay. Okay, so it's got to be here somewhere. I'm new to this. You guys just have to be patient with me for a minute here. I think it. I'm not too sure what that one is, but it's here somewhere. I know that. It's just getting used to all these pages. I don't see it anywhere. So anyway, so basically, you know, you kind of get the idea of the freeze, right? Oh, let me carry. Interruptions all the time. All I ever get, interruptions. Get bothered and get annoyed. I can't do my reading. Okay. So let's try this. We'll keep doing it. We'll keep looking. This is not what I like doing, but you know, it is what it is. You know, if they made this a little bit easier by sending me the initial instructions in English, it would have been a lot easier to work with a little pamphlet than having to print all these sheets of paper off. For what? Right? There's nothing I hate more than having to go through this, like I am, to verify the card's information. It's a pain. Okay, so the freeze. Here we go. Okay, so the freeze is establishing a basic power. It is okay to go at your own pace. There is also a seasons in life. A time of growth would be like spring, and winter would be the time to gather strength. Right now seems to be your charging period of winter. Do not spread yourself out too thin. Just settle down slowly and work on things. The card's warning: you must backpedal a bit in order to gain something new. In order to develop basic power, the first priority is continue and investigate and train. So it's just basically reiterating that, you know, this is a time that you can take a back seat to things and look at them from a different perspective. You don't have to look at them like you always have, right? It gives you an opportunity to change from this return, which correlates with the freeze, as beginning to take a step out and looking at, you know, certain situations without being directly involved with them. So that correlates with the return as well. The cards are like really in sync today. I'm really happy they are. They're just falling in place, and everything is just going to end up probably coming to a wonderful ending. Positive things in store for a lot of people. Now the sweet is, you know, don't be fooled. You know, the sweet is somebody that has good intentions with everything they do. You know, sweet like candy, like sweet, and they offer your guidance, offer you sincere meaning to direct and be part of your life, right? Let me see if I can find, you know, like it's the sweetness of, you know, people's generosity, to be compassionate and having some compassion towards what may be going on in your life. Oh, and the shield that we talked about, I think we already did that one. I spoke about that one. So I'm just looking for this sweet. Okay, so it's got to be a little bit further up here. Create the dark, the fiery, the mist, the light. So these are all the internal, okay, under wave. You know, it's not what I want to be doing. Okay, so I'm just verifying that I'm actually pulling out of the cards what I'm supposed to be pulling, because I would hate to pull the wrong information for someone. Okay, so the sweet now is, you know, it's surrounding circumstances to the matter. So this is relating about your personal aspect, your personal circles of friends, relations, your basic relations, you know, or love interests or relationship factors in any form. But it does iterate new love, popularity, appreciate of a dependent mind, right? Appearance of a dependent mind, sorry. A special person who softens your heart just by just being near you. Your work evaluation seems to rise quickly if you use your cheerfulness to the best of your ability. And I remember I just wanted to give advice on that. I gave advice to somebody on their personal job performance. This is just reiterating that you're going to end up having a good result from it. So if you haven't had that job evaluation yet at your work for one of my subscribers, feel free to voice your opinions and voice whatever you might find out, whether it be good or bad. But make sure you vocalize something, and take it defensively when you take it in. Like, go on search, but don't be too arrogant or too off-right type thing. Be humble when you make those statements, and just get the clarification that you need, because it might be just an idea that the person had this information given to him secondhand or third hand, and you're the employer that they're doing the work evaluation on. Make sure that it meets your standard, right? Because you're the one that having the evaluation. The perspective of the people giving that evaluation is not always the right way, not always the right version of such. Okay. Um, your love life can be kept stable state for a while, so it's a good time to keep your relationship strong. That you do happiness, joy, getting along. No negative energy has to enter here if you keep a positive swing on things. Not always positive. There's going to always be some negative that needs to come through, but it helps you to balance your situation a little better. The card's warning, though, it is good to value communication with a friend, but watch out for those you tend to sometimes depend on you too much. So if somebody is depending too much on you, for relying on you, say, to get a job, or to get to a place, they need a ride, or they want to borrow money, or they want your advice all the time, and they don't know how to think for themselves, kind of people, you may be noticing that those are going to stand out more than what they normally would. um, Trying to give you, trying to lure you, like, with not the right intention. With it's like luring a kitty with a candy cane, or a kid with a candy. Come on over, we'll give you something good to eat. And then when they actually comes time to take care of the dead, they're nowhere to be found. So just be wary of those kind of people taking too much physically and financially off. Oh, now we have the Libra card. The Libra card is a very, very great card to have. If that Libra card does show up in your reading, it's extra special. I do know that. I know it's about a lot about the balance, but there was something in particular about the Libra card that I did see here. Oh, kitties are the... Nope, kitty down. Nope, baby. No kitty in the bush. No kitties in the bush. No, you can't do that. Okay? Little monkey, you come over, sit with me. You come sit with me. Yeah, we'll move this away. You can't climb in the plants. What if the plant fell over? What if the plant fell over on you? I'd be so sad. I would be upset. I would be upset. But this is Baby. This is the babies. Little regret. Here, play with this. Here. We'll do it this way. So I'm just going to have to play with him at the same time here until he decides to wear himself out. He's been going for like 3 hours and hasn't had a snooze yet. So he's due for one soon. So hopefully he'll get that little snooze bug going on for himself down there. Yes. Okay. So back to the reading, guys. Sorry about the interruption. I always like to be interrupted by him, at least. The cats have a reason to interrupt them. They can interrupt. Okay, so we're looking for the Libra card. So I think it has to do with a lot of balance, a lot of self-reflecting, if I'm not mistaken. Trying to learn to balance your energy is another thing that happens to pop up a lot when it comes to that kind of card. So we're just going to, the return. Okay, so the return, like I was saying before, is the revival of a loser. Never give up. Keep moving forward, and don't let regrets or any past history have to dampen the mood. Okay, so the Libra one. These are new cards. I haven't actually read with these actual specific cards. Um, I've had a few of them have been brought out, but I haven't, you know, dealt with any of them. So life, action, and adjusting to the balance of ideas. So it's the typical, Libra energy, Libra balancing act, if you want to call it that. Uh, by using your calm, fair judgment, it's possible to start choosing humble decisions in addition to matters that cause a loss of balance will be returned to its best state. So that kind of matches what we've been actually already discovering with this reading is that we're dealing a lot with a self-inner aspect of things. And with this return card, it's allowing you to give you the space to be able to um, not have to worry so much about certain situations or people, places, or things. Then we also have, people trying to be extra sweet to get, a gain from you under false intention. Um, those people that you've cut out before might be returning for another round or another dip. And then we have Libra that just keep yourself balanced. Don't worry about all the external stuff. This is just basically for you internally that you might find might be gnawing at your throat or gnawing at your, just kind of being a gnawing and a pain in the ass kind of energy. Um, you might be getting to the point where you get frustrated a lot, but remember just to stay calm because everything ends up working out, even if it's not on that specific day that you make the manifestation or something comes back that you really didn't want to have anything to do with. Voice your expression to, if it is a person, voice it to them. Say, I was not happy about the way you did blah 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 blah, or you really did me when you blah 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 blah. Be standing in your power, like it said at the beginning. Don't shield it, but make sure that you're standing comfortably shielded from any possibility of a spiritual kind of rub me wrong type thing, right? Okay. Um, so then we have, where did my paper go? Okay, so 5 is the solution to the matter. So the solution to the matter is the erase. Okay, you have an option whether you want to erase this situation or you want to work through it. That you don't have to erase certain aspects that may have rubbed you wrong. It doesn't mean you have to erase yourself or them completely. Just disassociate with that person. Um, and that being in reverse, I remember reading on that one. That one's right at the beginning. I know that. Um, yeah, so it's closer to the beginning here. The erase, but it's very similar to what it means, right? Like you've got to either keep it and lug it around for lifetime after lifetime, or you can just deal with what you have in a physical sense here, right? And just erase the past. Erase doesn't mean you have to forget. You can forgive without the forget, right? And I think that's what the erase pretty much resembles. You have a choice whether you want people in your life or you don't want them in your life. Most part, I would have to say that don't get played for a joker. Don't let people make a fool out of you with this erase by the situations that you've come to balance and find different aspects out. You know, by knowing by the moon and the sun is balance, right? We have to have night, we have to have day, we have to have dark, we have to have light, we have to have good and bad, unease. You have to have the negative and the positive for everything to work out, right? So with that, balancing that energy and having to deal with a race is not something that you have to deal with in that sense. You don't have to erase these people out of your life. They may have come forward and actually came into the light and realized they're wrong. So maybe they're coming back to do to make you feel that they appreciated you for once before. But be careful that they aren't putting the sweet little um, manipulated situation on you at all. Make sure that you find the balance when you're dealing with past, present, and future. There's a lot from the past coming out of here. We're now getting into the more present with the erase. You can choose to either erase the situation. Come on, monkey, here. I help you up. You can either choose to erase the situation or you can choose not to. It's totally your call. This is just an energy reading. So if you have the energy and you don't want to, converse with this so-called manipulative energy, then it's all yours to want to erase, and that's totally your call. Um, well, this one, number 7, is, oh, my back hurts. I just got a kink in my back, and like whiplash. Okay, so going back to that, the meanings of the positions. Um, we're on number 7. So obstacles when solving the matter. Um, where you're trying to find balance and find the answers, it's very difficult. It's almost like you're looking for the right answers, but you seem to getting up, like turned, like almost like turned around. Like your energy is basically searching, but it's done searching. It knows where it has to go within itself to find the balance, right? Holding on to that Cupid arrow, this could be in correlation to a love relationship that has gone bad or went south a few months ago or whatever. And you're looking for, you're trying to find truth within, all that's been going on with the blocking of your energy for people coming, back from the past, which is, seems to be showing up a lot in people's readings. It doesn't mean that you have to take a person back when you actually have a return, say a lover or a friend or business associate or whatever it may be, whatever a relationship may be with a brother or a sister or a mom or a dad or and just coming back and reflecting on that, that's your time to go within to make the solution, kind of reveal itself for you, and your best knowledge is pointing the arrow at finding balance. You're very protective of the information. You're very protective of yourself, and you have every right to be, right? Um, but holding on to like a darkness meets light kind of situation where you might have been left in the dark on a situation which is now coming to light. It could very well be pointing you in a more direct direction as far as you're compassionate in regards to your relationships, whether they be business, love, financial, whatever they may be, family relation, any relationship that possibly didn't end well, um, might take a bit of time to be accepting of the situation on your behalf. Then we have the illusion. So don't get yourself in a situation where, somebody is using their sweet to cause the illusion to get there, right? To find that balance, to be with you. And also realize that everything that you've gone through is not an illusion, because you have the memories, you have the thoughts that correlate with what happened, whatever that energy that you're shielding yourself from is showing up. Um, if it's an illusion, then you better get to the bottom of that illusion and figure out who's creating this illusion for you. Is it yourself? Is it someone else creating it for you? And then we have the power. At the end of the cards, we have the power card, which is a very strong card. It's like an arcana, I believe, in this deck. But the power rests inside you, right? You rest on the power, and the power will actually help feed you, and it'll help direct you in a more positive note. That is an excellent card. From coming from a shielding, kind of humble, guarded person to, knowing what your power and everything that matters in it um, is there. Is 100% authorizing you to be able to release some of that, pent up energy, or, realizing that you're in control. You are the one that's in control of this whole thing. And the other person is maybe trying to come back to, try to make an amends or try to recreate a friendship or a relationship. And you're kind of just resorting down to yourself to let yourself kind of have some time to figure out all this chaos that's gone on in the past for the better benefit, right? And then, so this is the 10th card here that I'm going to flip is going to be based on how others perceive the situation, or they perceive you as a person, place, or thing. Um, so how others may see what's going on, if it's, good, what, then you have the jump. Oh, you have the jump card. Okay, so I'm familiar with the jump card. I'm kind of familiar. If it's not, you're ready to jump and be part of the show. each card, the jump. Okay, we should see this. First one's, oh, sorry, I missed a page there. The jump is excitement. It really is learning to jump, almost like just jump on in. Give it a shot. Give it a go, right? You might be one that also jumps to jumps to their conclusion, or they're figuring it out, right? Um, don't jump to a conclusion that may not be what the conclusion is being shown as. So maybe somebody else saw an outlook on that situation that maybe can give you some clarifying on that situation. Yeah, the jump, loss of ability. Oh, loss of ability, the best condition. So it means original power can be demonstrated by your heart's content. Human charm is like a power up, so you become both officially and privately, but you will be able to make enough time for adequate sleep. So that's, doing what you have to do. Oh, hang on, guys. My kitty's crying here. I don't know what's going on. Oh, baby. Did you eat? Okay, okay. Okay, let it out, let it out. Okay, okay, baby. That girl. You didn't sit well with you, did it? You okay? Okay, alright. You ate a little too much. You ate a little too much. Okay? You ate a little too much? You tummy? You ate too much? Okay, let's go get some water. Get some water. Have some water. Have some water. You okay? Sorry about that, guys. She was, little baby was getting sick here, so I have to look after my baby first. Hey, baby. Yeah, you're gonna be okay? You okay, monkey? Sorry about that, guys. My cat was getting sick, and I had to deal with that first and foremost. Sorry. So back to what we were saying was the jump was in correlation to a lot of this stuff that's maybe going on. Just use your best discretion when dealing with, things that might be coming back from the past, especially if it's a person. I don't sugarcoat it, but I don't have I don't have any forgiveness for somebody that wants to manipulate a situation to benefit themselves and run with it, right? It's not the way to treat people. So that's coming through on those cards. So that's the overall energy read that I'm getting for the next 2 weeks from November 15th to the 30th. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you again on the weeklies. All right? This is your Oracle signing out. I wish you guys all the best in your weeks and energy to come. Remember, don't forget to recuperate your energy and don't let others take too much. All right? Your cards. Here, I'll show you the cards. This is your card layout for your energy reading for November 15th to the 30th. I hope everything gets balanced. And I hope at the end of the month we'll finally be over all of this, confusing energy that we're being placed upon us. Just giving the energy report is basically a lot of unsolved or past regrets, or things to do with the past, which is something, a lot of reverse cards, but they're not so bad even when they are in reverse. It's just insightful to know, what areas of fields, maybe your spiritual warfare, or whatever you want to call it, spiritual alignment, spiritual gangsta, whatever you want to call it, is all in suit, right? So I had a blast doing it. I'm very glad that I got an opportunity to share this video for the energy. Um, is there anybody even here? Oh, okay. Um, so I'm just gonna call it there. That's the energy reading for the next, for all signs for the month of